So we're very concerned about the mercury emissions. Let me echo what other speakers have already said today about the greenhouse gas rule. Our nation is foreclosing coal with this action. History has shown that it is dangerous to think that we can predict over the long term what energy sources are going to be economical and reliable. In the past, our federal government has banned the use of natural gas for electric generation. Nuclear power, it has its ups and downs. Therefore, the prudent course of action is to not put all of our eggs in one basket. We need to retain coal for reliable generation. And as Mr. Hodenbosse has already said, one of the biggest problems we have with the greenhouse gas rule is they then will apply it to existing units, and we think this should be corrected. So on behalf of Buckeye Power and Ohio Cooperative Consumers, I thank you, Mr. Chairman and committee members, for allowing me to testify.
Thank you, Mr. McKenna. We appreciate your work and your organization's work. You've been extremely helpful over the years that we've dealt with the cap and trade issue and other things. We appreciate that and being here today. Mr. Mack will be recognized for 5 minutes.
Chairman Jordan and members of the subcommittee, good morning. My name is Tom Makel, and I'm the president of the East Fairfield Coal Company. I appreciate the opportunity to appear before you once again. East Fairfield Coal Company has operations in both Ohio and Pennsylvania, and we employ over 160 hardworking Americans. We mine underground for clay, coal, and limestone. We are a small business, and I'm proud to say that my father worked for the company when it started in 1934. I have been with the company for over 40 years, and my son works there today. In 2008, then Senator Obama stated in a press interview that under the preferred policy of cap and trade, anyone who wanted to build a new coal-fired power plant would go bankrupt in the process. He stated that under his cap and trade plan, electricity prices would necessarily skyrocket. He left out the fact that it would put thousands of people out of work. The Obama administration has systematically waged a war on coal, attacking the industry on multiple fronts, and to date, they've been very successful. I would like to address today a few of the details on the war on coal. On permitting, they continue to raise new obstacles. Through the use of administrative guidance, the administration has effectively implemented a policy where isolated, non-navigable waters would receive the full protection of the Clean Water Act. On mining, their goal is to throw up as many regulatory hurdles as possible. MSHA's mine dust regulation provides yet another example of the administration's war on coal as it attempts to limit coal mining. Simply put, MSHA is proposing a standard for respirable dust that cannot be met. On burning coal, they seem intent on punishing any utility who dares to burn coal. Perhaps the most expansive and most visible attack on the coal industry over the last few years has been the administration's efforts to drastically curtail the percentage of our electricity that is generated from coal. Electricity prices are going to go up, and the electric grid will be stretched even further, posing serious challenges for reliability. Last but not least is the issue for me for coal fly ash. The fly ash residue from coal combustion is used as a cement substitute in our cement block plant. The prospect of hazardous material designation puts this type of use in jeopardy. On top of all, I fully expect the second Obama term would focus on cap and trade. While the president is following through on his promise to enact cap and trade by regulation, his allies in the Senate haven't given up on legislation. I expect them to try and move climate legislation next year. I would like to say this about CO2. One of my customers operates large industrial-sized greenhouses in Michigan and Canada. In order to promote quicker growth, they operate large CO2 generators, which raise the concentration of CO2 in the greenhouses from 340 parts per million, which is the ambient, to over 1,000 parts per million. All of this CO2 is absorbed by the plants. I don't believe that CO2 is really an issue in the natural world. Mr. Chairman, I would also like to briefly mention that the administration is not the only player on the war on coal. Well-funded environmental groups have done everything in their power to kill coal in America. For example, one of America's largest environmental groups teamed up with one of America's largest natural gas producers on the so-called Beyond Coal campaign. In fact, it was recently discovered that the natural gas company donated $26 million to the environmental group in a joint effort to destroy the coal industry. This alliance was not to be, however, as the same environmental group just announced a new campaign entitled Beyond Natural Gas. Mr. Chairman, the war on coal is real and is doing tremendous damage to our industry. The Obama administration and its environmental allies are doing everything they can to stop coal from being permitted, to make it uneconomical to mine, and to stop utilities from burning it. And it discourage the use of the byproducts for beneficial uses. This is a highly coordinated, aggressive effort to literally destroy the industry by attacking coal at every point of its life cycle. The Obama administration's war on coal is a tragedy for the coal industry and the thousands of Americans that our industry employs and who rely on us to provide affordable electricity. On behalf of myself, the East Fairfield Coal Company, and many thousands of people in our region who rely on coal for their livelihoods, thank you for supporting and conducting vigorous oversight of the Obama administration's war on coal. I have to remind you, though, that if definitive action is not taken to reverse the above referenced policies, this industry is going to be in deep, deep trouble. Thank you for the opportunity to testify today, and I look forward to answering any questions at the appropriate time. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Mackel. You mentioned some of the environmental groups who also are fighting this attacking coal, but in the end, it's the administration. The buck stops with them, and they make the rules, they implement the law, they pass the policies. So I want to go to you, Mr. Hodenbussy. You have an undergraduate degree from Cleveland State University in chemical engineering.
Yes, that's correct.
And you have a master's degree in chemical engineering as well.
Yes, that's correct.
And I believe you said you worked in this field for 40 years.
Well,
Almost 40.
almost 40. 39.
And 39 years, and all that at the Ohio EPA.
Yes.
So you started, and I'm looking at your resume, your biographical information. You started in 1973.
That's correct.
So you worked for Republicans and Democrats. You worked for all kinds of folks.
Yes.
And you've interacted with the federal EPA for those 39 years.
Yes.
I mean, think about that. That's so if I get this right, that's Nixon, that's Ford, that's Carter, that's Reagan, that's Bush, that's Clinton, that's Bush, and now Obama. So you don't look that old, but that's a lot of experience working with both sides of the aisle. In that time, in that 39 plus years, working with all those administrations and the various governors, both Republican and Democrat, have you ever seen an administration who has this much animosity towards coal?
Mr. Chairman, overall, this current administration is promulgating more rules that directly affect coal than any time in the history of the Clean Air Act and the Environmental Protection Agency.
So the unprecedented actions we have seen in the 3.5 years of this administration and that 39 years of experience you've had with the various, both Republican and Democrat administration, you've never seen it like this.
Yes, that's correct.
And have you, I'm just curious, I don't know the answer to this, have you ever testified before in that 39 years of experience? Have you ever participated in hearings like this?
Yes, I have. In the U.S. Senate, I testified once.
And who was president at that time when you testified?
I do not know who was president. It had to do with air permitting.
Okay.
That was the issue.
So 39 years of your service. This is the first time you testified and talked about the nature of the rules being promulgated and enforced by an administration.
Yes.
And you would agree with the title of today's hearing. We talk about the green agenda and the war on coal. Do you think that's an accurate title? Do you think there's actually a war on coal that we're seeing from the Obama administration?
Well,
I know these guys would, but I'm curious what
right,
you think.
right, and I didn't use that term war on
No, I know we did. That was the title we put on the hearing. I'm asking if you agree with it.
That is more a term. I'm going to say a term that was used in a political sense. I don't try to go down that line, but you can just look at the rules that have been promulgated, what the effect is, both in terms of direct coal mines or the users.
I'm forgetting my Ohio history. Who was governor in 1973? Who was our governor?